gentlemen, welcome back to another broadcast of The Weekly with me, Neff. Please subscribe to the channel and share this video with a couple of friends and colleagues. Let them know to subscribe as well. So it looks like we got the final tally for Snow White, ladies and gentlemen. I said I would report on the final numbers for the opening weekend, and it looks like domestically it made $43 million, a little under what they expected. I believe the projection was $45 million domestically, and globally the film came in at $87 million, so I know it is under what Disney wanted initially. But let's read into this one. This is from Variety. Snow White may be the fairest of them all, with a leading $43 million in its domestic box office debut, but Disney's latest live-action remake is off to a sleepy start. Overseas, Snow White also opened slightly behind projections with $44.3 million for a global launch of $87.3 million overall. Heading to the weekend, the film was estimated to collect $100 million globally. Snow White arrived in theaters dogged with controversies, including criticism about the film's depiction of the Seven Dwarfs, complaints about the changes to the nearly 100-year-old story, and calls for boycotts because of co-stars Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot's public stances on the Israel-Hamas war. There were also expensive reshoots which added many millions to the film's budget. Disney, as a result, scaled back the movie's Los Angeles premiere, doing without traditional red carpet interviews. However, analysts don't believe the deluge of bad publicity actually factored into ticket sales. This situation is a situation that is never ideal, says senior ComScore analyst Paul Desjardins. In the case of Snow White, kids and families likely just want to see a PG film and were perhaps unaware of the controversies surrounding it. Still, this cinematic take on the 1937 animated classic has notched the lowest domestic debut to date for Disney's various reimaginings, below even 2019's Dumbo, which took flight with $45 million. Prior remakes of The Little Mermaid, The Jungle Book, Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast, and The Lion King all opened above $100 million domestically. Three of those, 2019's Aladdin, 2017's Beauty and the Beast, and 2019's The Lion King, were billion-dollar blockbusters, while a fourth, 2016's The Jungle Book, got pretty close with $967 million. So what does this mean for Snow White in terms of box office fortunes? Well, whether the musical film is deemed a success or a flop will rely entirely on the tentpole's staying power. If the $250 million film, which stars Zegler as the original Disney princess and Gadot as the evil queen, follows a similar flight path of Dumbo, it'll signal that after one too many revisits to the vault, families are tiring of Disney's live-action remakes. The Little Mermaid also fell short of expectations, with $569 million worldwide in 2023. Another real-life reboot, Lilo and Stitch, lands in theaters in May. Disney, however, believes that Snow White can mirror the slow and steady ascent of last December's Mufasa. The Lion King prequel opened to a soft $35 million, but eventually climbed to $252 million domestically and a mighty $716 million globally. For Snow White, brand familiarity and a lack of family competition will help. So will the film's solid A- grade from women and a decent B+ from general audiences on CinemaScore exit polls. Snow White appealed to mostly females, who accounted for nearly 70% of the opening weekend crowds. This isn't a Disney juggernaut, says David Gross, who runs the franchise removie consulting firm. It's a soft opening. By Disney's historic standards, success will depend on whether the film plays well for a couple of months like Mufasa recently did. Disney knows how to support their films, and this is a good corridor. He also adds, keep in mind that for Disney Animation, theatrical is the first of many income streams. Snow White is a merchandising goldmine, and the IP will find its place somewhere, somehow, at the theme parks. Ladies and gents, what do you think about this news? How do you think about the performance of Snow White? Do you think this is going to be a slow burn film that does have legs and can carry over into profit? I don't really know at this point. Typically, we do see a second week drop off. We have seen a lot of the reviews. Most of the reviews are negative. Obviously, some reviews are positive on CinemaScore, but this is an experiment, to be quite honest, and it's an interesting one to actually look at from the business logistics angle of film in general, and especially this one with Disney. With a $270 million production budget for this film, I'm not even including marketing, this film's going to need at least $600 to $700 million to break even, and I know they definitely put $100 million into marketing as well, so add that on top of that production budget. Definitely going to be interesting to see how everything pans out for Disney's Snow White. Let me know down in the comments if you watched this film, and let me know what you thought about this film. I want to get some honest feedback from the people out there listening. Please subscribe to the channel. Share this video with a couple of friends and colleagues. Let them know to subscribe as well. With all that being said, it's Neff signing off. Be safe.